Hi everyone. Welcome to Business Coaching with Zboo. Actually, Coach Zboo. How are you doing?
I'm alive. Joburg, it's cold. There's a cold front. So I've got my coffee and I'm layered. So I'm good to go.
You are ready. I can see. I'm also
Yeah.
dressed warm. Hi man, this weather is yapora na yan tapis. Ay, 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 ay.
No. It's not right. It's not right. It's too
It's
cold.
not right, man. It's too cold.
No.
So, so guys, today we're going to be talking about packaging your business services. So, our coach is going to be filling us with as much insights as he can. So we're gonna start off by what are package services. So, coach, you can take it away.
Cool.
Let me
So
hey, let me do this. Ooh, I did the wrong thing.
because we're looking at you now and I'm the one who's talking. But anyway, so yeah.
Yeah,
Mo, thanks for doing this. You and I, we're together every Wednesday, 11. We're talking business. And yeah, it's a
yeah.
nice regular feature. So people must just subscribe to your channel. People must subscribe or follow the Facebook page. And guys, please share it with other people so that they can join in so that we can drop some knowledge. But back to your question.
Yes.
So a package service is something that when I look at, I know automatically that it's something that I need. So it's neatly packaged, it's well defined, it tells me exactly what need it's planning to address. And when I look at it, this is something that I want to buy, this is something that I want to need, something that I need. It's something that I don't have too many questions, right? So I have few inquiries when I look at it, but it's not like I have
Mhm.
dozens of questions because I don't understand at all what this thing is. It educates me from the moment I look at it. It tells me what need it's addressing from the moment I look at it. And it makes it easy for me to go back to my own planning and say, yeah, no, definitely, this is what's missing. So that's what we're speaking about when we talk about a packaged service.
Right, right. I get it. It makes it, and when it's packaged, it makes it easier for you to select what do you want.
Exactly. Because I look at it, it's educating me, it's telling me what it is, it's telling me the problem that it's solving. It's very well defined. I can see a description, I can see a price, I can see how long it's going to take for you to to sort out my problem. I can also see how the sessions, if it's sessions, or how the execution happens. Is it over a couple of weeks? Is it over a month? Is it over 2 months? So everything is 100% clear. I know what's going on. The only thing I might ask is how it relates to my business, because I have to tell you my challenge so that we can sort of like link it to that. But when I look at it, it's very clear to me this is what's being offered. It's not one of those we offer everything, because that's the
Mm.
mistake that a lot of entrepreneurs make. We offer everything. That makes it very difficult for me, either as an SME or as a consumer or as a potential client, to buy something.
Okay. So, coach, are they like elements for service packaging?
So there's different kinds of elements, right? So a lot of variables actually come into play when it comes to this. So the first thing is the service itself, or for the purposes of this webinar, we'll call it a product, right? So there's the product
Mhm.
itself. So the way you describe the product and what problem it solves. Number two, it's the execution. So there's different kinds of executions, right? So something can either be a one-on-one, or it can be a workshop, or it can be a consultation, or it can be a project for a week. So the execution or the implementation also plays a big part in terms of then what this particular product, how is it delivered? And then the third element is the pricing as well. What am I paying for? What elements am I paying for when I'm buying this particular service? So those are the three most important elements when you're putting together your service packaging.
And then are they different types of packaging?
So packaging is the same, or it's similar in principle, right? The only thing that's different is the product itself, right? So let's make an
Mhm.
example more about people that are offering digital marketing, because those are the people that I see are struggling a lot. Digital marketing
Mhm.
is open-ended. It's open-ended, right? Search engine optimization, social media management, Google ads, it's just open-ended, right? So a lot of people will say we offer SEO services. But when you speak about SEO services, go read the definition of SEO. And then you can see that it actually spans across different platforms. So when you're saying to me, this is a product that you're offering and your SEO services are 1,500 bucks, to me, it gets really confusing, right? It's 1,500 bucks for just the first consultation, or I give you 1,500 bucks and then you go through all of my social media platforms plus my website. And then you come back and give me a strategy, or 1.5 for you to implement it. I don't know. I don't understand what's happening, right? So the principle is the same. There has to be a service that you're packaging. There has to be a description for it. There has to be a price. And also there has to be a way for me to understand exactly what it is that I'm paying for. So packaging follows the same principle. The difference is the products that you're going to create out of this open-ended service that you are offering.
Okay. And then why is it important for small businesses, or actually as a business, have packaging, have a service packaging?
Okay, so we must remember, we're in business to make money, right? The only way for us to make money is if somebody buys. If your stuff is not packaged, nobody's going to buy. People are confused. Nobody's going to buy. You are not going to make money. You're not going to be running a business. You're going to be getting a whole lot of inquiries because everybody wants to know what it is that you offer. And you spend a whole lot of time trying to respond to those inquiries. So at the end of the day, you will not have a business. So that is the important part of it. Think of it like this. If something is, let's say you go to Pick n Pay, right? Or a retail shop, and then you want to buy tomato sauce or mustard or whatever the case is, right? And then on the shelf, it's not sitting inside a package. It's actually literally they spilled it on the shelf itself. So the liquid is actually there. It makes it difficult for you to buy because you don't understand. So how do I buy this thing? Must I scoop it and put it in my hand? Must I bring my own jar and put it inside? It's not packaged. You don't know what the name of this yellow liquid is, right? This mustard that's sitting there. You don't have a lot of information about it. How are you going to buy it? So a lot of entrepreneurs that are in the consulting space or the service space, they need to look at it like that. If I go through and I look in the shelf, or sometimes let's just say it is sitting in a package, right? But because it's this yellow liquid mustard, it's sitting in a package or in a bottle that is not see-through and is not labeled. So you've got this thing that is just sitting there on the shelf. How do I know that I need it? How do I buy it? What is it? And there's no pricing that moment in time as well. Is it detergent? Is it something you eat? Is it, you get what I'm saying? So if you don't package your service, that's exactly how it looks. It looks like that when it's sitting on your shelf or on your website or on your online store, on your Facebook page or whatever the case is.
All right, I get it. So why is it difficult to package services?
Because a lot of services are open-ended. So that is the biggest problem, right? So I gave you an example about SEO management or digital marketing. A lot of them are actually open-ended, right? So if I'm saying to you more, I provide coaching services, right? With my business as an example, I'm a coach. If I say to you, I offer coaching services, I haven't said anything to you because you don't know what I'm going to be assisting you with, right? Because saying coaching is open-ended. So that is a difficult thing. And I went through the same thing when I started my coaching business because it seemed like I was offering everything, right? So if you come to me and it has to do with me advising you or asking you the right questions or giving you guidance, I was actually taking everything, you know? So people never understood until they walk into an online session with me exactly what it is that I offer. What this means is that I lost out on a whole lot of people that did not contact me, but were looking for my services because they just scrolled past my profile. Because they didn't think this is the guy that we actually need for this. So that is a difficult thing. Everything is open-ended. And then sometimes services, they contain 100 things. So you get one service, social media marketing, it contains 100 things, right? Consulting in the business management space, 100 things. Or if you provide research services like you and I have been speaking about, it contains 100 things. So it's very difficult to package it because we assume that people know. If I'm saying research services, if I'm saying coaching, if I'm saying management consulting, if I'm saying strategic management consulting, we assume that people know. exactly what it is that we offer. So we don't package it, we leave it open-ended. It's like specialization. So we don't specialize. The important thing is that you must specialize when it comes to your open-ended service, because everything is a long sentence that just doesn't end. That's what makes it very difficult.
Mhm. Okay. Yeah, because now I'm thinking back when I was starting trying to do this whole business thing, and like I'm not getting it right. Okay, I understand how okay, I wanna do this, but no one is coming to me, and I know they need the service because I see people talking about thing, and I'm just like, I can help you, but hello, can't you recognize me? So I guess everything of mine was just out there, and it was just
Yeah.
confusing.
It was very broad.
Okay.
So it was very broad. What you're putting out there, that's why even these days when you look at social media marketing, another example, and then you are posting an advert on Facebook. Let's make it an
Mm-hmm.
example. So if you go there and then you're trying to boost a post, and they say to you, define your audience, you will see
Mm-hmm.
how detailed it gets, right? It's women between this age with these interests in this particular area. So everything needs to be defined. That's what happens with services, right? We don't define them to the demographic or the industry or the execution part of it, the description part of it. So we leave everything open-ended. So when people are speaking to you and you're saying this is what I offer, they get the principle, but they don't understand what the service is. And now you've put a
Mm-hmm.
price there, and I'm like, okay, fine, but what am I paying for? I still don't get it. The principle is that you're gonna help me to improve my social media. That's the general
Mm-hmm.
principle, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what exactly are we sorting out? Are you talking my Facebook page? Are you talking my Twitter? Are you talking my Instagram? Are you talking introducing me to streaming tools like the one that we're using? What exactly are you talking about? What is the description? If I give you $1,500 today, where is it going? So you end up winging it, right? So now you're sitting with the client and then you end up winging it. And one of two things is going to happen. Number one is either you would have overcharged the client because they look at the work that you did and they're like,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't make sense. Or you're going to undercharge because now you're sitting with this client, you're getting all excited and you're like, yeah, let's look at this. And then as you are in that session, that consultation session with the client, you're coming up with new ideas. You find that the value that you provided is way more than the $1,500 that somebody has paid. And I've already told my friends that you're charging $1,500. So that means you're going to be undercharging for all of the 20 people that I'm going to be bringing to you. So you need to learn to define it at least from the beginning so that you
Mm-hmm.
know where the boundaries are. Otherwise, you're going to get into big trouble. And also, you must remember, if you're sitting with somebody, I'm not sure if this has happened to you, it happened to me several times. If you're sitting with
Mm-hmm.
somebody who's winging it as they go, it's very easy to pick it up. Very easy to pick it up because you can see that somebody is just winging it and they're listening to you, they're taking cues from you, they don't have their own process in terms of how this whole thing should go. And what happens now when
Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting behind the screen or I'm sitting in that consultation session, I'm going to take advantage of it. If I can get
Yeah.
more from you, because I can see you don't have process, you don't understand what's going on, I'm going to be throwing all of these other things. You're going to end up making promises. I'm going to get a very cheap product. That is not sustainable for your business. And that's why we must specialize more. Specialization allows you to have a very clear process on a particular service or product. Service that has now been packaged to a product. You're going to be the master of that process. So that means when we get into a session, I can't throw you off because you already
Mm-hmm.
know how this thing is packaged and what is the process and what is the end result. So there's no way I can throw you off. It's easy for you to say, if you're looking for more, I've got something else that I've packaged. So as soon as we're done with this, then you can come through and buy this one.
Yeah. And the coach, speaking of that, it actually has, and you're just going there. You're just going there, going in, or going in, right? And then you're giving this person so much information, and you're making all those promises, and they get more for what they've paid for.
Yeah,
And I feel like my struggle is, if I feel like I can, I can give you more. I kind of like make an exception and say, you know what, and it's not gonna work out for me. Is it a technique that one must learn actually on how to actually execute your consultation, or how much you should give of information?
exactly. Every product, right, or package service needs to have its own process. If you don't have that process, you're going to be in trouble. That's why if somebody is saying, and I hear this a lot, what do you guys offer? We offer the whole shebang. We offer the whole suite, right? So basically, you're telling me that in a process of this digital marketing, which can be broken down into 50 things, right? It can be broken down into 50 products and services. Are you telling me that for all 50 of them, you've got a process? You get what I'm saying? Do you have a clear, defined
Yes,
process for all 50 of them? All 50? I don't think so. I highly, highly doubt that.
yeah,
When you specialize and you break it down into three, and you perfect that process, and you make it easy for it to flow from one to the other, right? So after I've sold you this one, I can cross-sell, which means I can sell you another one, or I can upsell, which means I can sell you the third product. That's just how it works. So if you don't have it broken down, and you're telling me you offer something that is sitting with 50 things inside, 50 potential products inside, you're telling me you've mastered all of them. And by mastering the process more, what I mean is when you walk in and then you sit down, I know what my process is. First of all, I onboard you, right? I have an onboarding process where I'm capturing all of your details. And then I know after onboarding, there are certain questions that I have to ask you when it comes to my business coaching package. So mine is broken into business coaching, career coaching, and personal development, which is life coaching. But also I'm very specific. On business coaching, I teach you how to use LinkedIn to build strategic partnerships, right? On career coaching, I help you to pivot your career. So I cater for people that are tired of their old career, they're trying to move into a new one, right? And on personal development, I deal with critical thinking. You see now, I've broken these things into three. So everything else that is not part of this, it sounds very tempting. Like, hey, let me also get into this, right? It's not my space. It's not my lane. Let me just leave it. There are other people that deal with mindset and all of that. That's why a lot of people, when they come to me, they assume I deal with mindset stuff because that is very common within the coaching industry. I don't deal with that. I've got colleagues who deal with that and I can refer you, right? So these are my three things. If something falls outside this scope, then it's a problem. How do I execute on each and every one of them? This one is a one-on-one session. This one is a one-on-one session. This one includes a little bit of training, right? So I know all of them. So when I'm talking about process, you come in, depending on which one you chose, each one has a process. I onboard you with business coaching. We're going to start speaking about strategy. Then we're going to move on fixing your LinkedIn account. Then we're going to move on helping you to develop content on your LinkedIn. Then I'm going to help you with getting the right connections with all. So you can never throw me off. I know what happens at session number 1, 2, 3, and 4. If you speak about something that does not fit in there, then that means it's either I'm going to refer you to the critical thinking one, or I'm going to upsell you something else that I've actually created, which is part and parcel of what's happening here. So you got to stick to your lane. You got to manage your processes. You got to know what happens in consultation 1, 2, 3, and 4. And your execution must be clear, right? It's either I'm creating templates for you. It's either I'm doing something for you. It's either I'm only doing advisory, which means I guide you. It's either I'm doing a workshop. It's either I'm logging into your social media platforms or your LinkedIn and I'm changing it for you. So you need to understand what all of that is and how long it takes. Then you define that process. If you're open-ended, you won't be able to specialize. It's like when you go to medical school and then you get your medical degree and somebody will become a heart surgeon, somebody a brain surgeon and whatnot. They already have a process of how that works. And that's why people end up specializing. Lawyers do the same thing. They'll say we deal with labor law only, family law only, or we'll have 3 of them. But the process is defined. When you get into a session, what is question number 1? What is question number 2? What do you need to fill in? What do you need to send back? What do we catch up on in the next consultation? How many consultations do I need to assist you with this particular problem? And how much is it going to cost? Very clear, very well defined, very nicely packaged.
awesome. This was so insightful. What mistakes do small businesses make when?
So the first one is the definition and the description. where the description is
Mm-hmm.
not clear at all. So that is problem number one. So a lot of coaches will say we deal with personal development. Now, personal development is a frame within, is a phrase within the coaching framework, but it's very open-ended, right? So if you're saying to me you're doing personal development, what exactly are you talking about? Because personal development could be personal development in your career, personal development in your business, personal development in your communication, personal development in your self-esteem, it could mean a whole lot of things. So people, they just use the open-ended phrase and say, we offered, or even with business coaching, people will say, I'm a business coach, I offer business coaching. But like I said, with me, I said specific to LinkedIn and creating strategic partnerships. So people will say business coaching and leave it there, career coaching and leave it there, right? Because career coaching also has interviews, CVs. So it's a bunch of things. So that's mistake number one. People will take a broad phrase and use that, and they say it's a product description. Number two will be the execution, right? Is this thing a workshop? Is it a one-on-one? Is it templates that I'm creating? What the hell is it? So a lot of people miss that point. So they end up clumping everything together. Now you are doing free content. Now you're doing free workshops. Now you're also doing templates. Now you're also creating videos and all of that, right? Because your things are not defined. You're doing more. You're doing more than you should be doing. You should be able to set a boundary and say it ends here. And then if you're looking for something else, we can look at an additional charge. So a lot of people don't define their execution. And then the last one that they make is that they just have too much. They just have too much. And they can't handle the volumes because they don't have a process for it. So you're sitting with 50 things that you've packaged, and then you are a 3-man business. You end up becoming overwhelmed. You don't become an expert. You know, you jack of all trades, basically, master of none. You need to master something as far as process is concerned. So people get overwhelmed and things just start going south for them. So those are the biggest mistakes that they make when it comes to packaging their products.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. How can small businesses package their services?
So Mo, my structure always, I like it when things go in threes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is where you start by keeping it simple. So it's a challenge that I'm posing to everybody out there who wants to package their services. Do things in threes. So start by packaging 3 and then mastering the 3. Then you add something else. I told you with mine, it's life coaching, business coaching, and career coaching. So I defined it in 3s and I said I will wait here. There's a whole lot of things that I would like to add, because I can see there's opportunities for them. But I don't feel like the processes around these 3s have been mastered. So package it in 3s, and then after you've packaged it in 3, you must package in terms of your relation. In relation to what? So business coaching in relation to LinkedIn and strategic partnerships. Career coaching in relation to pivoting your career. Life coaching in relation to increasing your critical thinking. Okay, so now I've got these 3 things, and then define an execution for each 3. This one is a one-on-one, this one is a one-on-one, this is one is a one-on-one. With other people, it could be different, right? That one could be a workshop, this one could be a one-on-one, and this one could be me creating templates for you. So once you've got, it's 3 layers of 3 packages. If you can do that, that will give you a good starting point, because you're going to know how to price, and then you're going to also understand how your process works around all of your 3 services that have been packaged.
Okay. Coach, now you're making me think now, yo, I've got 2. So I need to add another one.
If you've got 2, you're fine. If you've got 2, you're fine. I think for me, 3 is the maximum when you're starting, right? So for me,
Okay.
one is too little, right? Over 3 is too much. It's overkill, because you still need to define your processes. So if you have 2, anything between that, you are 100%. You are 100% fine. So work on those 2. Work on their in relation to what you are doing these things. So, I mean, if you're doing research, you guys are going to be doing a little bit of research. Research in relation to what, right? Consulting in relation to what, right? And then also, what does that execution look like? So if we're talking about research, What exactly are you saying? Are you saying you're going to teach me how to research? Are you going to say you're going to send me resources so that I can research further? Or are you doing a research report that you're going to give to me? Now you've got a process of what that looks like. What kind of questions do you need to ask? What questionnaire do I need to fill in? How much do I need to pay? Same with the consulting as well. When we think about consulting, are we talking about one-on-one consulting? What is the process for that? That consulting is in relation to what as well, and how much am I paying for it? And whatever I'm paying, am I paying for 4 consultations in front, or am I paying for one and then I'll buy additional ones? So if you've taken that, you've defined it, then you find. So 1 is too little, over 3 is too much, but if you've got 2, you're still sorted.
I'm safe. I'm safe. I'm safe. I'm happy with that. I am happy there. And then, can we talk about the pros and cons of the business packaging?
Yes. So the pros, it's simple. The pros is that people are going to buy, right?
Mm-hmm.
People are going to buy. Number 2, they're going to have a good customer experience because, like I said, when you've defined them well, the process is also smooth in terms of onboarding and booking and paying, and everybody's clear from the beginning in terms of what it's going to look like. So the customer experience is 100%, but also it prepares your business for scaling, because once you understand these processes and these products very well, now you know how you're going to scale them, how you're going to grow them, how you're going to sell them in bulk. And then another point is that it gives you more things to sell, right? Especially if you make them sort of like related in a way, right? So for example, I can do business coaching with you. And then because you've got 3 staff members, I can do career coaching for them. Or maybe you're looking for new people to join your organization. I can find people that I can assist to pivot into your business, right? Because maybe you don't have enough talent pool in there. And then for you and your staff members, maybe because you went through a COVID period, let's say, for example, your critical thinking as a business owner and your critical thinking from your staff members has been affected, then I can bring the life coaching. So I can cross-sell and upsell. It's very, very, very clear. And it's easy for me to identify those opportunities because my products are defined. The cons of it is that when you start packaging, because you start packaging a few, you may be missing out on other opportunities as well, right? Because like I said, you package 3, and then now you can see the opportunities in the market are for something else that you haven't yet packaged. But that con more is not a problem. I don't think it's a problem, right? Because it's at least it's safer. So rather than grabbing onto everything else and killing your reputation in the process, the only thing you're losing out on here is money, basically, right? So you're losing out on a little bit of money. And as the industry grows and then your packaging, maybe you want to swap one with another one because this one has not been making money, then you can do that in future. But you've gone through the practice of understanding how to package, what works and doesn't work. So you're losing a little bit of money. So rather lose a little bit of money than lose your whole entire reputation because your process is not clear, things are just going south, and there your business could die very quickly. So that is the only con that I can think of. Otherwise, packaging is a pro. It's a very big pro. You have to do it.
You have to do it. Yeah. So coach, you did give us a challenge, ne? You did give us a
Yes.
challenge for the session. Okay, then this is the last question. What kinds of benefits does packaging provide for marketers and for customers?
Ooh, customers is customer experience. Customer experience is the most important thing. More when I come to you, I must feel like things are flowing, man. Things are flowing. I'm not chasing you for stuff. I'm not confused about what you want from me. Then I send it back, and then I send it to you. Then you send it back, and then you're sending me the wrong form. And now, oh, I'm so sorry. After I've spent 10 minutes filling out that form, you're like, no, I'm so sorry. Actually, this is a form that you were supposed. Customer experience is very important. So that is a very major benefit. I walked in, I worked with you, I understood what the expectation was. You stuck to the expectation, you delivered on the expectation because you understand the product, I understand the product. At the end of the day, when we walk away and the project is done, I can say, Mo, what you took me through is brilliant. Whether it's going to work or not, right? Because at the end of the day, now it's up to me to take whatever I've learned from you and carry on with it. That's a different subject altogether. But I can tell you that my experience with you was 100%. So for me, that is the biggest benefit when it comes to that. The second benefit, obviously, is that you generate income. You generate money. You really generate money because money comes in very quickly. People are understanding what they're paying for. There's not a lot of refunds that are happening, because this is a problem with refunds as well. If the expectation now sounded different, it happened to me more when I started my business, where people actually did ask for refunds because I was not quite clear in terms of what I was going to provide them. So the expectation was sort of like mismatched. And I had to pay people back, because I didn't want people to say, hey, you took our money, because I understood where they were coming from. Expectation was not clear. So you generate money. Money comes in, money stays in your bank account, money does not move out. So I think for customers, that is the very, very, very big benefit. And then for marketers, when somebody understands your product and they understand your service, it's easy for them to promote it. So the promotion becomes clear. There's no mixed messages. If somebody comes to you, they don't understand what it is that you do, but they try to market it and put it in the market, they end up bringing their own messages. And then you come back and you're saying, no, but this is not what we're offering. But this thing is already in the market. It's being boosted as a Facebook page. It's all over Instagram. And when people are coming to your business, you're getting the wrong type of customers looking for the wrong kind of product. So you can't even service them. So you keep sending people back. So if it's not defined, you can't promote it. You can only promote something that is 100% well defined. So those are the big benefits for that.
Coach, would you advise people to advise people who use social media to actually take on those boosters that Facebook, Instagram, and whatnot? Did you advise people to use those? Do they actually work?
Hey, you're putting me on the spot, ne? So I hope these social media companies don't come for me. So let's speak about the different platforms, right? So I will start with LinkedIn. LinkedIn is my favorite social networking platform. All right.
Yeah.
I wouldn't pay for any advertising on LinkedIn. I feel like LinkedIn is very personal. I don't want people to see. I get those boosted inboxes on LinkedIn. They're so impersonal. So impersonal, because that inbox is actually also written sponsored. So this person is not really talking to me. He's talking to 1,000 of us. I find it very impersonal. The way I do business on LinkedIn, I really get to know you. I see what you are posting. I can see what awards you've won. I can see your latest promotion. I can see everything. So even when I start engaging you and I start posting with you, I'll speak about your Mo, that Employee of the year award that you got last week. That was dope. That was fantastic. And I can see you doing great. You feel like I know you. So LinkedIn, I wouldn't boost anything from them. Now, when it comes to Instagram and Facebook, what happened there is, and I'm not sure, it could be my targeting more. I'm not going to go and start, blaming these social media platforms. It could be my targeting. But one thing that I picked up is, yes, I did get some clients, from boosting Facebook and Instagram ads, in particular. Those are the two where I've boosted. But what I found is that it increased my bounce rate on my website. And what I mean by that, a bounce rate is basically a number of people that click on the link on your advert, and it takes them to a particular page on your website. And after they've gone through that specific page, they log out. So they don't carry on and look at the rest of your website. So the bounce rate, because I'm using a specific link on my ad, people land on that page, they read that page, and then they leave. So the bounce rate becomes high. You don't want your bounce rate to be high. And also, because they look at only one page, the average time that they spend on your website is actually low, because they just get in there, they read for 30 seconds, and then they're out. So it looks like your website is actually not performing very well. So they really messed up my analytics, and then I stopped doing it. I did do a boosting, I won't lie to you, last month. And the reason why I did that is because I just wanted my business to appear more on those social media platforms, but I used a very small budget, which means even if people don't click, to buy at that moment in time, at least they know of the business and they might come back in future, or they might start spreading the word. But for me, it really messed up my analytics. It's not very organic. I prefer organic stats. People that came to my website, because before the boosting, a lot of traffic was coming from LinkedIn and TikTok, because now obviously you and I, we met on TikTok, and I'm more active on TikTok now. And what I picked up is that people were really getting on my website. The average time that they spent on my website was 4 minutes, and my bounce rate was actually only 32%. So my bounce rate was quite low, which means the rest of the people that come on my website, they stay, they read, they move around, they scroll. So those are my potential clients. But yeah, boosting, it really messes it up. It makes it difficult for me to determine what my traffic looks like. You know, is it traffic that's willing to buy? Is it traffic that's ready to do business, or whatever the case is? So yeah, I think it's a matter of preference more. But me, I'm done. I can tell you that I'm finished.
Okay. Now, fair enough. So, coach, is there anything you want to add on or highlight that you feel like maybe it's some insights that people can take from the session?
No, definitely. I think, guys, if you want your business to work, and you are in the services sector where you're providing services like consulting, management consulting, coaching, package your stuff. Package your stuff, make it easy for people to buy it, make sure it's clearly defined. And don't try to grab on everything. Start with the three, like the challenge that I've given to everybody. Start with the three and then take it from there. If there's something else that comes up, don't feel like you are missing it, then you start jumping onto it. Relax. Stay on your lane, because on your lane, in those three things that you're offering, I'm sure there's a good customer base if you think about how many people are there in the world, because you must think globally. You must not only think locally. So don't mabone, suffer like a mabone, and then now you're looking at everything else. Just stick to where you are,
Yeah.
stay on your lane, and then Otoba Sharp will then grow from there and start building and adding stuff from there.
Thank you so much, coach. Today's session was very insightful. As always, you always
Thank
dope. You're
you.
always providing us with the gems. And yeah, thank you to people who came through to listen and come get some insights. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, guys. And
Yeah.
don't forget to check out our coach on LinkedIn. That's where you'll find him. He will give you the
Yeah.
gems. He will connect you with the right people. So thank you, coach. And thank you to the viewers.
Cheers.
Cheers.